Hello guys, welcome to Forex with Ntombi. I am your host Ntombi Malatsi. I am a Forex trader, I'm a Forex blogger, I'm a Forex teacher, I'm a Forex mentor and a coach. Oh, of course, I'm a podcaster. If you just stumbled upon this podcast, you're welcome. I really hope you like it here. Please feel free to check out my previous episode. Just check out the first episode on introduction. It is very important that you check out that one so that you can understand what this podcast is all about and also what to expect from it. Hey there, residents of Forex with Ntombi. Welcome back. Today is our second episode of 2022. Thank you so much again for tuning in. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for sharing these episodes. And thank you so much for those voice notes. Please, guys, keep them coming. I love those voice notes. Feel free to hit me up on WhatsApp. You can, you do have my WhatsApp number. You can just click on the link that says message, and you can send me a voice note right away. So today we are going to talk about one subject that is very close to my heart. This is one thing that actually changed everything. When I say everything, I mean everything in terms of how I used to trade and how I trade, now. So today's episode is about the importance of understanding the fundamentals. I know this is one topic that is mostly debated by most forex traders, especially if you are a trader and you are only just trading technicals. Most people who are trading technicals are so closed off, to the idea of understanding the fundamental part of it. So today I'm hoping to just clarify a few things and also just to help you understand how exactly will it benefit you. But of course, I share my own experiences. So what I'm about to talk about today, it is not something that I have researched. It is something that I have lived. It is something that I have done. It is something that I have experienced. It is something that I am currently doing. So it is up to you what you take from this episode. I am only just going to share, frankly, of course, what works for me and why do I even trade like I do now. I think I did a blog post back in 2016 or 2017 titled, Why Do I Trade the Way That I Do Now? Because a lot of people are always asking me, but how do you manage? Because most people think that the minute you open a trading account, there goes your life. Poof, you can't do nothing after that. You cannot go to school. You cannot go to church. You can't go to work. You cannot talk to your kids. You can't talk to your husband. You can't talk to your spouse. You can't talk to your wife. You can't even bath. You can't eat. That's what people think. When people think Forex, they think, oh, millions. Then they also think chaotic life. It is not even supposed to be like that. But of course, because of how Forex trading was sold to most of us, because of how the idea of making money from the markets was actually sold to most of us, yours truly, I was also introduced to Forex trading the same way as most people. I was going to make millions with zero efforts. I was only just going to get my cell phone and understand a few things, reading chart patterns, then done. Of course, like most people, I started like that as well. That is now back in 2009. This girl was trying to find a way to make an extra income, and I've seen people talking about Forex trading, and I was like, wow, I'm interested. This is something that I think I can do. Then I dived in, of course, with every information that I was coming across online. Nobody was talking about fundamentals. It was chart pattern, from left, right, center, from everywhere. It was just chart patterns. It was indicators. It was robots. It was a whole lot of stuff that people were selling. And also in the Forex groups, people would be talking about your stochastics, your MACDs, the technical stuff and technical indicators. Those things are okay. I am not here trying to say this method is better than that method, but I am just here sharing my own experiences. So if you can relate to what I'm about to share today, you can definitely just use this as a blueprint. Just follow my footsteps. And if you don't know how to, then you can definitely contact me. Then I can teach you how to do it. But I don't want to, I wanted to name this article Fundamental versus Technical Trading. I don't want to name it that because I don't want it. It is, for me, it is not a matter of one method being better than the other. When people ask me, tell me, how do you decide if you want to be a fundamental or you want to be a technical trader? How do you choose? My honest answer is, of course, if you asked me this question back in 2009, between 2009 and 2012, this was going to be my answer. Fundamental trading doesn't work. That was going to be me. Fundamental trading is for smart people. It's too much hard work. Fundamental trading is complicated. Fundamental trading is not for a day trader. Fundamental trading doesn't work. It's all about our chart patterns. I would have said that back then. But then I started trading fundamentals from 2012 up to today, up to 2022. The main reason why I decided to do that, it is because I had seen that a lot of times, of course, technical analysis would work for me. I would make a lot of money, but then one day I would just wake up and be hit by a surprise and I wouldn't even know what came on me, and I would lose all the money. So it was a matter of make a lot of money, but then when you lose all of it. And after losing it, you don't even know how it happened. Then it started to become like a cycle. Then I will then blame the current technical strategy that I would have been using at that time. This is me between 2009 and 2012. I will then be blaming the current strategy that I would have been using at the time. Then I will then dump it. Then I will then switch and go and look for another one. Then I would find people talking about this other one. Then I will then do. I always tell my mentees that this is not an exaggeration. I am not exaggerating this. I have tried all technical indicators that you see, the technical indicators that come with MT4. MT4 comes integrated with a lot of technical tools. I have tried, if not all, I have tried a lot of technical indicators from the platform. Because of course, when you go to YouTube, they tell you about MACDs. You go to this other YouTube, they tell you about stochastics. You go to this other YouTube, they tell you about RSI. You go to this other one, they tell you about Bollinger Bands, all those things that are integrated in the platform. Am I saying they don't work? No, I am not saying they don't work, but listen to what really changed the game for me. 2009 to 2012, I'm busy doing that. And then I get so tired and I'm like, I'm giving up. This thing is not working. But then part of me knew that there's something that is not making sense here. There is absolutely something that is not making sense here. Because generally speaking, I understand that there is a fundamental reason for everything. Okay, guys, I didn't plan to talk about weight, but wow, I'm about to talk about weight and food because that is one thing that I can relate to. So please, excuse my examples. So I always knew that there's always a fundamental reason why you experience something. There's always a fundamental reason why things are happening. You don't just wake up one day and you have gained 10 kilos, guys. It doesn't happen. You don't just wake up one day and you've lost 10 kilos. It doesn't happen, guys. It is because of something that has an underlying issue. Of course, there are people who are gaining weight, like they are gaining massive weight, but maybe because there's some underlying illness. But what I'm trying to say here is that there is always some underlying issue. It does not just happen. There's a fundamental reason why it's happening. So for the sake of this podcast, I'm going to rule out the idea, I mean the fact that there are some people who are gaining weight because they are sick, but still they gained weight. But what is the fundamental reason why they gained weight? Maybe they are taking some medication that is making them to gain weight. They accumulate too much water in their body. Maybe they gain water weight, but there is a fundamental reason. You don't just wake up one day and boom, you've gained 10 kilos in one day. There's a fundamental reason. In my case, the fundamental reasons why I was heavy, it is because I was eating pizza. It was because I was having bad eating habits. That was the fundamental reasons. But what I will try to do in my weight loss journey, before I actually understood that I need to deal with the core, a fundamental of why it is happening. I used to pop slimming pills, slimming tablets, slimming concussions, I used to pop. I even went to as far, if you are following me on social media, I've shared pictures of crazy procedures that I was doing, in trying to lose weight. But then I didn't want to address the part that was like, no matter what you do, you still need to eat healthy. I thought I was just going to buy it and buy six pack, just buy your slim body. You can't buy those things, because if you do not address the fundamental reason why it is happening, it's not gonna work for you. So for me, it wasn't working because I was not addressing the fundamental reasons why I was gaining so much weight. Until then life changed for me. You see, fundamental reason for everything. So now I want us to take this back to the markets. Fundamental analysis is all about understanding the reasons why things are happening in the markets. I like to simplify this and not complicate it. It is understanding the reasons why things are happening in the markets. Technical analysis. It is all about understanding chart patterns, and of course you can see whether the market is going to go up, the market is going to go down. But now, when people ask me, how do you choose if you want to be a fundamental trader or a technical trader? I usually say you don't choose. Honestly, you don't choose. I know if you are listening to this and you only just started trading and you are still very excited, your technical analysis is working wonders, you are probably not going to understand what I'm saying. But if you've been trading for so many years and you've been having great technical strategies where you make a lot of money, but then you lose it, and after losing the money, you don't even know how you lost it. You don't even understand how it happened. It is because there are some underlying issues that you are not even paying attention to. I'm gonna get to that part on how to get to pay attention to it, or how to know, about these underlying issues, or underlying issues. So now, I always say, my honest answer would be, remember what I said, I would have answered this question if you asked me in between 2009 and 2012. But if you ask me now, I would say you don't have to choose. Because honestly, guys, we don't choose whether we want to participate in winter or we don't. It's been very cold in Joburg. I'm not sure it's me, but it's cold. Weather is not like, it's a bit rainy, it's wet, and I cannot now go outside wearing a bikini and thinking that I won't be affected by what is happening outside simply because I don't believe in it. I don't even have to like winter. I don't even have to like cold weather. If I step outside, I'm going to be affected by this cold weather the same way that it affects a person who is acknowledging it, that okay, it's cold today, I need to wear some warm clothes. And the person who does not acknowledge it, which is now me in this case, we are both going to be affected the same way. So you can't choose. In the markets, if one country wakes up and they decide to cut their interest rates, I'm just making an example. Let's say in the US, they decide to cut their interest rates and it is going to affect US dollar, right? Now, between a trader who understands the fundamentals or acknowledges the fundamentals, and a trader who says, it's crap, I don't believe in this thing, I don't even want to look at it, we are all trading the same USD, right? So the same way that the US dollar, for the person who believes or understands fundamentals, this is now me in this case, and the old me who didn't understand or believed in fundamentals, US dollar, if it's weak, it is weak for all of us. It is weak for everyone. It doesn't say, I'm not going to be weak for you because, hey, you don't believe the cutting of interest rates might weaken the currency, so I'm going to spare you. I'm not going to be weak for you in your platform. I am just going to be strong because you don't believe it. It's not going to happen like that. You are going to get affected. So now, I know that most people won't know what I'm talking about, but a lot of people know that something called Brexit happened. So I'm going to use Brexit because with Brexit, I know that even though maybe you didn't even know what the heck was Brexit, but you know that Brexit happened and you probably lost your money. Maybe you lost your house. I know people who lost possessions and possessions when they traded Brexit. So now, the aim of this podcast is to open your eyes and to let you see that in everything there is always a fundamental reason why it is happening. If you know why your relationship is going south, you are not going to try and buy presents to fix your relationship. You are going to get to the core and try and fix the fundamental reason why you are fighting. You're not going to try and band-aid it by buying presents and gifts, and you are going to get to the core, unless if you are confused and you don't know. But if you know, that's the sense. I mean, that's the best thing to do. Tackle the issue, the fundamental issue. Deal with it so that it doesn't happen. I dealt with my fundamental issues, fundamental reasons why I was gaining weight. I stopped eating bad stuff and I lost weight. But when I didn't want to face that and I was only just buying pills, buying this and that, doing 30 days of no sweets and no, then after 30 days I go back to my old habits, I did not lose weight because I didn't want to deal with the fundamental reason. Now, in the markets, if you don't want to understand, acknowledge, or even know that as soon as you take your money and you invest in the markets, at least know what is interest rates, how they affect the market. I understand that you want to just spend time studying charts, which is totally okay because that is your choice. This podcast, this episode is not about what's better or what's not, but this is about me sharing my own experiences. When I traded like that, like I said, I would make money, but one day I would wake up, surprise, all the money is gone. Then I would blame it on my technical strategies. Then I would switch to another. It kept on happening until my eyes were open in 2012. So from 2012, I started now to incorporate the fundamentals. So still using my technicals, but then I would say things like, okay, in the beginning of the week, what is happening in the market? I didn't even understand. I thought trading the fundamentals is all about just checking, economic news in some Forex calendar. Most people still think it's just that. It is not just that. It goes beyond that. It's not just you looking at greater figures. The figures are less, and it's not only about that. There's more to it than just that, but that's a good start. Because with me, I started acknowledging that there is a fundamental reason why the markets are moving, especially during non-farm payrolls. Non-farm payrolls is not as crazy as it used to be, back then. Back then, non-farm payrolls was the thing, Non-farm payrolls will wipe people's accounts. Non-farm payrolls still wipe people's accounts even now, but it was back then. It was more volatile. So I knew that, okay, there's something called a Forex calendar, but I didn't know anything just more than that. I acknowledged it, that it exists, and it made sense to me to look at it this way. Of course, when we trade currencies or when we buy currencies, we buy those currencies that are stronger because we think they are stronger. But then, why do we even think? We actually buy currencies that are perceived as strong. But now, if you look at it this way, if there's a way that you can find out why are they strong, why are they perceived strong? there's actually a better way of it is actually a better way of buying this currency, because you are not only just going to buy it based on what you see, because your charts won't lie, of course, your patterns won't lie, they will tell you exactly what is happening. But the reason why most people feel like, and also why I felt like technicals were failing me, or my technical strategies or indicators or whatever that I was using then were failing me, it is because I was just using technicals. So I then acknowledged that, oh, there's something called NFP. So every time on a Friday when NFP is about to happen, I would just close all my trades, meaning even if I've had trades that were like running at a small loss, I will close everything, because I didn't know how to trade it then, so I didn't want to be affected. But at least, I had taken the first step of acknowledging that this is bigger than me. This is bigger than just my technicals. Let me just find another way. Besides, I was not liking the idea of being glued to my laptop the whole day, because mostly when you trade technicals, that's what you basically do. You spend a lot of time, studying charts and patterns and sleepless nights, because sometimes you have trades carrying overnight, and then there's these things that are happening that you don't know anything about. So now fast forward to when Brexit happened in 2016. Brexit broke my heart. It did not broke my heart because I was losing money. It broke my heart because every trader that I saw online, everyone was crying. People were bleeding. It is because now it was hitting a lot of people at that time that this is where the fundamentals, play their role. Because of course, with technicals were telling a lot of people that buy GBP. I remember it as if it happened yesterday. Most technicals were saying buy GBP, it's going up. But how do you predict, things like elections? How do you predict things like votes? And then voting happened, and just by an inch Brexit happened. Most people expected remain, but then Brexit happened. You know what happened to most people's accounts? People lost fortunes. We didn't lose money. When I say we, I mean me and the people that I coach and teach, because this is how we trade on a daily basis. Before we can do anything, we need to find out what is happening, when is it happening, which is why I am trading in a way that is more relaxing, because I know when am I trading, what am I trading, why am I trading it. On Brexit Day, I knew we were trading GBP. Why were we trading it? But I was also not going by technicals, because technicals were reporting what was happening on the polls. When there's elections, they start counting votes before the final count. Those things, they count. So if it's 55 versus 49, the market will then react to that 55 versus 49. But the final count, if it comes out as 55 versus 44, the market will then react to the final. That's when people lost a lot of money. I know people who lost husbands because they gambled with the money that they were not supposed to. I know people who lost houses, people who lost businesses, people who lost friendships, people who were managing people's funds. They lost them. And everyone was blaming Brexit. No, I was, I checked everything, and everything was, confirming. Of course, everything was confirming. But if you did not wake up during that time and realize that you cannot ignore fundamentals, then maybe that is the reason why you are still doing the yo-yo type of trading. You make money today, then tomorrow you wake up and you don't know what happened. We know that Australia, maybe they did, they released their GDP stats, and that is why the markets are reacting this way. But you are always surprised, and you are unable to plan, because how do you plan if you don't know what's happening? Nobody can predict the markets. We cannot control the markets, but we can always control ourselves. But if we are also So like doing this on a random cases where we just wake up and we sit in front of the laptop, we are studying. I'm not saying studying patterns, because some people are really passionate about studying patterns, and studying charts, but what I'm saying, I'm trying to just open your eyes. This is what has worked for me, which is why today I'm able to sit and create a free platform and just share with people, because I know that people are not going to get this information anywhere. They are not going to get this information anywhere. This information is not researched. This information is my own experience. This information that I'm sharing today, it is what I did and what I continue doing. I also want you to look at fundamentals as, like, when you are driving a car and you get inside of your car, you are not just going to look forward and not bother yourself with your blind spots, what's happening on the sides. You don't look back. You are just looking forward. That's basically what you are doing when you are ignoring everything else and you don't even want to understand. At least if you don't know how to trade fundamentals, or if you don't know how fundamentals affect the currencies, at least acknowledge that they are there so that you can run away from money. I always say you're running away from money when you close your laptop, when it's there's something happening in the market that has a potential of moving the markets. Rather do that because you'd be safer. But now it is kind of like impossible, because like I said, I will be having trades that are running at a loss, trades that I knew and confirmed from my technical point of view. I knew that this was supposed to be happening. That's another thing when you are a day trader, like me, like us. I'm assuming that nobody starts your trading account with R1 billion. I know this. I've never met anyone in SA starting with their trading account as a beginner with R1 billion. So we are all starting small. Sometimes you don't even get a chance to see your technical, analysis playing out, because you are kicked out. Fundamental stuff happens, you are kicked out. Then you are always going to blame your technical strategy. Where else your technical strategy, maybe there's nothing wrong with it. Because honestly, technical analysis for me at this point, I use it to confirm my exit and entries. But my analysis is based on what is it that I'm expecting today, what is happening today. Like I know that this week like yesterday, there were retail sales stats, from the US. You kind of like know this is what is happening today. And this, of course, if you want to learn how to analyze those things in detail, because it's not only just about understanding the economic news, it is also about understanding geopolitics and many other, factors that are affecting the markets. So don't be like this person who gets into the car and you are driving and you don't use your blind spots. You are going to crash your car. That's what you do when you trade with, totally ignoring the fundamentals. Some people would say, someone said something very funny. Someone said fundamental trading is crap because everything is manipulated. And you know what I said? I said, I feel so happy because I know the date, in which it is going to be manipulated. I will then wait for the day, to wait for the manipulation to take place. But then the fact is, the same manipulation affect the currencies that we trade. So let me rather wait for the manipulation to happen. Then someone said, fundamental, news, if you open your TV and you watch, channels like Bloomberg, you are actually just watching for entertainment. But I differ. For me, it is not about that, because obviously maybe there's some manipulation in the markets. Maybe, I'm not even going to get into that kind of politics. But if you know that South Africa is releasing their interest rates today, you should know that it is going to affect the currency. It is going to affect our ZAR. So if you know that it is going to affect our ZAR, you're not going to wake up and just blindly trade ZAR. You're going to wait until the decision is made, then, trade accordingly. That's what I basically do, and that's what I basically teach. And guys, it is not difficult. And it is not complicated at all. I don't know, maybe it's because I know how to do this and I'm a good teacher and I know how to simplify stuff and simplify information, but it is not complicated at all. So you also get to understand, how things like if a country release monetary policy statement, how is it going to affect the currency? Because you cannot run away from that. It is going to affect the currency. It also makes your trading life look more like my trading life, where you can wake up in the morning and exercise, you go to sleep on time. If you decide to trade late, it is because you have decided to trade late. It is not because you are babysitting trades. So that's all that I wanted to share today, that guys, you need to think about this, because for me, life changed when I acknowledged that, okay, there's actually a fundamental reason for everything. So if I can understand it and understand how to do it or incorporate it, then I can analyze my markets, using their reasons. Then I can then use my technical analysis just for entry and exit points, because some of these tools are amazing tools, but then just like a person with an amazing tool cannot claim that they can build a mansion just because they have an amazing tool. You can only build a mansion provided you understand a lot of stuff. Like, building a house is not only about having tools and material. Building a house is about understanding. So when you understand the fundamentals, you are not like someone who is investing blindly. I see a lot of people losing money every day in the markets. It pains me, because people want to lose money for the next 5 years before they can be like, yeah, there's more to this than just. If it was just about, technicals, or it was only just about these tools, like, let's just talk about it and think about it. These tools, they come integrated in the platform, the same platform that we get from the brokers. So do you actually think it makes business sense? They know that the tools are amazing, but of course you need to know more than just that. That is why most brokers, they will then also offer support on fundamentals, but people don't want to bother to learn. So I'm here to teach you if you want to, because that's basically how I trade. That's basically what changed the game for me. So fundamental analysis is not complicated, but of course I cannot talk about this here because I can take like hours. If you want to know more about how I trade, now at least you have like basic understanding of why is it important. You drive a car, you need to mind your side mirrors. This is now you minding the interest rates, minding the GDP. If you know that today you want to trade CAD, at least know when they are released. If they are releasing their interest rates today and you have no idea, but you want to trade CAD, you are likely to lose money. And when you make money, you will make a lot. You will be lucky some days, but luck does run out. I didn't mean to make such a long podcast or such a long episode, but like I said, this is one of my favorite subjects. So in the beginning of the year, I want you to remember that investing in things that you don't understand, you spend more money. You pay a price. You don't have to pay a price via learning. You are going to pay a price via losing money. There's always a price to pay. So if you don't want to just do this and do it blindly, investing blindly, it's not cool at all. Then you can learn about these things. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I can talk for days, but yeah, I think I need to stop talking now and prepare for my week. And please do listen to the previous episode on beginning with the end in mind. Thanks again for tuning in. I really do appreciate you. Till next time, cheers. Happy Sunday.